The Diary of a Certified Psychopath. Off the crank. Another terminally fragmented forage around my hometown's charted chomping ground for the familiar texted inventory of 5 or fewer indispensable consumables, with all intervening efforts shaped by free will's ever-constructive whims, alongside a burning appetite for broadly painless progress. Having elected, by omission, to strip this activity tracking platform's algorithmically trained psychoanalysts of the right to employ their machine-learned might as a means of superficially scrutinizing my cardiological quirks, I am confident that no unblinking eye could possibly not conclude my endeavours as chief hunter-harvester were far more heartfelt than any squiggly data trace would indicate, even without enlightening aid from the blood-orange moon that may have recently guided fellow night-shifters, certified spinsomniacs, or barely vertical victims of self-inebriation safely home in any parts of Britain not buried beneath low-hanging goose-down duvets. Hide outside. A strategically delayed follow-up to yesterday's after-hours grocery grab, undertaken due to certain boutique establishments whose freshly prepared provisions are comprised wholly of organic ingredients sourced from free-range farms and fair trade markets less than a stone's throw from Shoreham's flourishing shingle fields, choosing to shut up shop on the Sabbath, thereby denying those faddy gourmets whom I serve with nutritional sensitivities and highly developed palates the pleasure of savouring an ethically reared Maris Piper potato. Deciding once again to forcefully relieve Strava's aerobically mindful motion detectives of their self-assigned analytical duties, I can personally assert with reasonable confidence that, though bereft of any perceived thrashes, verified and violet-faced VO2 vortexes, or voluntary fits of oxygen starvation, their less-attuned deputy algorithms' guesstimated grass-green power average was not too many watts over the strain-gauged truth, had I been applying comparable degrees of light lactic labour within my data dungeon's marginally milder microclimate, where Bluetooth-controlled headwinds would have blustered out at roughly 100 cubic metres a minute. Mean marine. Strictly in the statistical and locational sense, but with a manifestly generous spirit, despite a continued dearth of motivation, contriving to mangle any semblance of structure that this disjointed voyage to the eastern fringe of our country's quasi-coastal capital might have otherwise retained if 10 watts of Apple-certified power had charged a pair of SRM X-Power platform pedals to a smidgen above 0% of their estimated 35-hour capacity. For further fruitless context, this felt like a fraction of the time that I spent cleaning the magnetic pogo pins on each clip of the company's bundled charging cable, before either unit's colour-coded LED began flashing red to indicate current was flowing through their empty cells. Impulsive postural pick-and-mix from the first to final pedal stroke, with cadences far too low for post-ride validation by the UCI's standard crank committee, and further inhibited by a fresh westerly breeze stiffer than King George VI's upper lip. Try saying that quickly.